What's happening, Newt?
How's it going, Fish?
Why, why in the hell did you put that ugly ass helmet behind me? Why?
You want the real answer, or can I be a smartass for a while?
I think both is going to happen, so go ahead.
I know that's one of your favorite teams, so I put it above your head.
Hmm.
But actually, honestly, all truth told, the helmet above my head is literally the only college football helmet I've been able to find that faces that way.
Hmm. All right.
Seriously. And I mean, some teams it doesn't matter because their logo is pretty much reversible,
Right.
but most aren't. So yeah, that's really the reason. That's literally the only college football helmet I have found in the entirety of Google.
Somebody, let's run through something real quick. So LSU played Louisiana Tech. The
Yes.
one thing that you don't want to happen when you play like a game like that is injuries. That's honestly, what are you hoping to see? No injuries. That's my answer.
Correct.
We had
Always.
two. We had two injuries. One of them, Braylon Moore, couldn't be a worse person to lose on the OL.
Huh. Yeah.
Sorry to all you other guys on the OL. You're much bigger than me. I don't want any trouble.
Right,
But
right, right.
bottom line is, Braylon Moore is uber important. And then the
Yes.
next one is traded as Green, which is,
Oh, yes, that one hurts too.
yeah,
I did read that more practice today.
yeah. So I was going to get to that when. I know you didn't have a chance to watch the game, at least in its entirety. I'm sure you've seen some highlights and lowlights because
Oh,
there's a lot of
I've
lowlights.
uh I've seen very little. I saw Ramos miss his kick early in the first half.
Uh,
Um,
50 something yarder.
yeah, I did see Nuss take a sack, and I watched.
He didn't take a sack. We'll get to that. He gave him here. Let me run around
Yeah,
a little
yeah, yeah,
while.
yeah, and then he just kind of went down.
I typed in the game thread in chat. Um, that's the least Heisman like thing I've ever seen in my life. That sack.
Right.
It was
That
awful.
and then the only other play I can honestly say I remember specifically seeing was it Stamps who dropped an interception right in his hand?
No, which one? He
The
dropped
first
two.
one.
He
The
dropped
first
two
one.
on the same drive.
The
The
first one.
second one was the worst one.
I didn't see the worst one, but I was told it was worse than the first.
The second one was right here. Right
Ah,
here. I mean, what the hell? Had a
I
shutout.
don't I
Had it.
don't know. I had several things going on this weekend, so I
Yeah.
did listen to a little bit on the radio, listen to some of the post game, and they didn't sound very impressed.
Here's my thing with that. People make too big of a deal out of it. You can say 1-0 every week all you want. Blah, blah, blah. You play in Louisiana Tech. And here's
Yeah,
why I think it matters. The kids that go to Louisiana Tech, where did most of them wish they went?
LSU.
Exactly. And so this is absolutely their Super Bowl.
Yeah, oh, definitely. This is their chance to play in Death Valley.
Yes.
Um,
And some of them are probably mad. That linebacker they have, Fields, he used to play for LSU and he was pissed. That dude he played a great game.
yeah,
Good on him. But that's my thing there is, you know what? We fooled around against Nichols last year. Give me a break.
yeah. Brandon Taylor, his concern was the he didn't come out and call it effort. But he made the comment that yeah, the offense was called somewhat vanilla. He said, but what he saw was especially like on the O line when you're blocking. You're going up, like you said, you're going up against a guy who's playing this like his Super Bowl. You have to at least act like it's a game that's of importance. And he said he did kind of see guys just they didn't bring the intensity that's necessary, and it showed. There's a certain
Yeah.
level of intensity that needs to be there, a certain level of aggression. You have to be the meaner of the two guys hitting head to head in the trenches, and we just weren't.
Yeah. And I'll say this and we'll move on from it because I don't want to start any shit. But you know who I didn't see that from? The Blake Baker led defense. They didn't
Yeah.
have any lack of effort. The Joe Sloan led offense looked mediocre. So we'll just leave it right there.
Okay.
Because,
I'm like I said, I didn't get to see, so
leadership reflects
yeah,
attitude.
I agree.
Okay. There was more drop balls I mean, Garrett's numbers didn't look great, but there was a lot of drops. The only person on the offensive side of the ball that looked really good is Barry and Brown, and he looked fantastic, and therefore he got the game, and he deserved it.
Yeah,
The defense is ridiculous until they put the subs in, and
yeah.
yeah.
It
Okay,
it's yeah.
just hurt my feelings. As bad as the game was painful to watch. Well, at least we got a shutout. No, no, we don't.
Hmm.
Two dropped interceptions. Then on the next play, a blown coverage um, from a sub, Jadian Toviano, who, and I'm not
I
saying
did
cut bait, but I
I,
mean, come
I
on.
did see the replay. I mean it was basically a zero coverage all out blitz, but you can't just leave a guy.
It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
zero coverage, and okay, so be it. But Toviano had a job, and he didn't do it.
yeah, correct. It happens.
And we can say shit like that now because they get paid.
Exactly.
So get over it.
Yeah, yeah,
On to
it,
Florida.
yeah. Let's do
Now,
that.
talk about what you were talking about. Braylon Moore practice today.
Practice today is what I only read the headline. I did not read the actual article about it, but I did read that he did practice today. I believe he's still listed as questionable, but him practicing today is obviously a positive.
Sure, when that happened, that happened on the first play of the game. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't.
Not the
Like I said,
first, the first play from scrimmage of the game is when that happened. And he went to the locker room, came back out on the sidelines, dressed out still, pads and helmet. He's practicing snaps. Somebody kept saying he was taking snaps. I'm like, he's not a quarterback. He was giving snaps. But
right.
anyway, he was snapping the ball and he just couldn't go. And then, we come out after halftime. He's in street clothes. So I figured it wasn't a horrendous injury, but I was fearing the dreaded high ankle. And then Brian Kelly came out in the press conference on Monday and said, we don't think it is a high ankle. As it turns out, he's much better today. This was actually on Tuesday.
Okay.
Much better today. And we're going to list him as questionable and see how he feels later this week. Like, okay, if I believe you, which I don't always
Hmm.
believe coaches, but Tradez looked, that looked like a horrible, I'm like, he's done. He's Harold Perkins. He's this is bad, you know.
Right.
And then it's an MCL sprain, and so they even listed him as questionable.
Yeah.
I if I'm not the coach here, okay, I'm not the coach. If Braylon Moore can go, I want him. Okay,
Yeah.
Saturday. But Trey Green,
Rest him.
rest him because you got Southeastern next week, and then you got BYE coming in the next week, and then we go to Ole Miss. Rest him.
Yeah.
Because we
Definitely.
need him. And his injury looked worse. I'm grateful that it's not an ACL. It's not a tear. It's a sprain. Good. Rest him.
Right.
That's my take on that. And we can flush Louisiana Tech as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's these games. Yeah, we got to play them, but if I had to miss a game, this is the one that I'm glad this is the one I didn't get to watch.
Yeah. It was brutal to watch. Um, so Florida.
Yeah,
If I told you that a team held a 25-13 advantage in first downs and outrushed and outpassed and had a 42-minute time of possession to 18 minutes. And that's
that's a
team
blowout.
A. That's team A. And then, team B was with the 18 minutes and everything lower. Who won?
I would say Team A in a blowout.
Yeah. Yeah. Team B actually won that game by double
Yeah.
digits. That's LSU Florida last year. I had somebody on the message board talking to me off the message board actually, but and said, I feel like this is a trap game to LSU. I'm like, dude, if this is a trap game to LSU, we just came out of a trap game to me.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
We got caught looking ahead, and so did they. And the good thing is we won and they
Right.
took the L. But this ain't a trap game, dude. Not after that crap last year. This better
Yeah,
damn not be a trap game.
I mean it's not just that, but
It's LSU, Florida.
right. This game has it's managed, which I mean I know we don't play Auburn every year anymore, but it's basically surpassed that rivalry in just pure animosity. There's been some really weird games
You
down
know
the
the
stretch
team's
these last
records
few
against
years.
each other?
It's what is it, 34, 34, and 3.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. 34, 34, and 3.
Yeah, and it's been some really interesting games as well. I mean,
Mhm.
we've had
Who throws a
we
shoe?
yeah, exactly. We got the shoe toss, we got multiple fake kicks, we got them with that goddamn little tiger skeleton thing with the Mardi Gras beads that they like to bring to our games. You had the hurricane fiasco from a few years ago. There's a
Five
there's
point
real
penalty
anim
conversions.
yeah, there's real animosity between these two teams. It's not just a rivalry like what we have with other teams. There's actual bad blood between these two schools and even the states and you know coaches, athletic directors, hell, you even got politicians from the two states getting involved in it now. Sportscasters on ESPN make bets over this game. So
It's a big game.
yeah, it absolutely is. It's one that I'm thankful that we kept this one alive. Hopefully, they're one of our permanent opponents going forward. I don't. We'll see if we get that or not, but I would love it because it's truly a great series and a great rivalry. I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
one of the best games of the year every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly. Similar to the LSU Auburn. Maybe, honestly, maybe even better.
I
To
think
be
it has
honest
been
with you,
better
it's a better
lately.
series. But I mean,
Yeah,
you just hate Auburn,
yeah,
and I get it. Um, but so with that said, I'm kind of a little disappointed in Garrett on the field. Anyway, he's terribly off with his deep ball. And
yeah. I
it's
saw
like
the
coming into the
interception.
season, we just like, oh, we got all these weapons, and we're just gonna throw the ball all over the field. Yeah, not until he gets more accurate. But and then that sack, like we talked about. In fact, every sack that he's taken, which I think has only been two this year, has just been totally on him. I mean, throw
Right,
the ball away. Throw it away. You are not Jaden Daniels. What are you trying to do running around back there like you're going to outrun these DEs? You're not. You're
right,
not
exactly.
outrunning edge rushers. You're not. Now, with that said, I love listening to that man talk when he's talking about Florida. They interviewed him yesterday, and yesterday being Tuesday, today it's Wednesday night. Nooch and I are meeting, and this will be up on GameDayTigers.com tonight is when it'll
Yeah,
be up. But Garrett Nussmeier starts it off by saying, "Well, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am not a fan of the Florida Gators." I love it when he says that. I am not a fan of that team. I don't like them. I don't care for that program. Jesus lays it out there. I don't like
yeah,
them, and I
exactly.
like that.
Oh, I love it. I love hearing former Tigers. Like you should hear Jacob Hester talk about this
Oh my
series.
gosh.
It's
Yeah, I do hear Jacob Hester talk about it.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
it's deep. That's what I'm saying. It's deep. There's
there's some
real true
animosity
hate.
there.
Yeah, yeah, it's there. It's deep and it's on both sides.
I, d- I don't know where Nussus comes from because he said it last year before the game. Now, if it was after the game, I would understand because he got sacked 7 times in that game.
Right.
Um,
Oh, I don't know. I
I don't
I
know where
mean,
it comes
really,
from.
maybe just growing up in Louisiana and seeing it and having a taste of it. I guess I don't really know.
I don't either. But I love that he feels that way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Really do. Maybe they didn't recruit him. Maybe they
Maybe.
recruited him in a different position or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we
Who
did with
knows?
Dak Prescott. You want to come play tight end?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever. Anyway, I like that about him. And talking about those 7 sacks, this is something that I just kind of learned about yesterday, listening to another show actually. And out of those 7 sacks, it was like a bunch of pressures too. It was like hurries and pressures. It was in the teens. And so they broke it down, and I would say about 80% of them are no longer on Florida's team. One of them still is, and he's got a broken foot. One of
Poor
them
bastard.
One of them plays for the Cowboys now, and the other one plays for the LSU Tigers.
Ah,
His name is Jack Pyburn.
right.
Those were the top three defenders in that game last year. They either play for the Cowboys or not playing, or they play for us. So, Florida's still going to have a good team. They're going to be pissed. I get what so and so was. It was Herb. Sorry, Herb. You call it a trap game. It's not a trap game. But anyway,
Yeah,
it was
definitely not.
Herb. But I get what he's saying is they're going to be pissed. They just lost to South
Yeah,
Florida.
that's fine. We've
Yeah,
uh
that's
we've
fine.
we've been through this with them before, even in this series. You remember the '07 game? They lost to Auburn the week before that game. And yeah, they came in all pissed with Tebow, and we wasn't even supposed to stand a chance because Florida was bouncing back all mad and pissed off. Well, we beat them then, and well, now here's this year, and we have to break the deadlock in the series. So, and of course, it's in Death Valley at night, which that alone is worth something.
Yep. Oh, it's worth a lot. It's the first SEC game of the year. No way this is a trap game. No way.
No, no,
Um, I get what he's saying though. They're pissed and they're going to come in hot. I think our players are pissed at our performance too, even though we
yeah,
won. Our players and our coaches are pissed. I hope Brian Kelly really got on some coaches' asses over there on the offensive side of the ball. The defense, dude, DBU, the starters anyway, they look like DBU, but the rest of the defense, I mean, if you had to ask me before the season, what concerns you about the defense? Honestly, I paid so much attention to fall camp and even spring, and just the stuff I was hearing going through the summer. I knew that the defensive line was going to be ridiculous. And in
right.
fact, I figured as long as Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins were truly healthy, the front seven is going to be ridiculous. But I was a little concerned with who's going to be opposite Mansour Delane, and it turns out to be your boy, and PJ Woodland, which give me both of them. Give me either one of them. They're both great, but I didn't know what they were going to be. But my main question was going to be safety. Shut up.
Hmm.
Safety is not a problem, dude.
Right. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
That's good.
there's
I
no
mean, I'm
there's no
looking.
weakness on the defense, and it's deep, except that cornerback. Ashton Sampson's in the right place. Okay, he just can't catch.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
my
that's
God, you
probably
got to catch that ball.
that's why he plays corner instead of receiver.
I understand that, but you got to catch that ball.
Yeah,
You're a freaking D1 college football player in your third year. When a ball hits you in the hands, the first one was a toughish catch. The second
yeah,
one, oh my God, put the
yeah.
game away.
Offensive linemen make that catch.
Yes, all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, like you said, to bring it back to this weekend, I'm really looking forward to it. I have the big screen ready. Saturday night, Death Valley, they're doing the LED light up wristband thing again, like what they did for Ole Miss last year. Retiring Charles Alexander's number at the game. They're
Number
putting his
four.
number up in the ring. So I
That's
there's
funny
no
because
way.
Marcus Cooley's wearing that.
Well,
No,
so
no, no. Mansour Delane's wearing that.
yeah, Delane's for, but they're not quote unquote retiring it. It's he's being honored in the ring.
Okay.
Kind of like Stovall and Casanova, 21 and 37 are both still worn. So 4 will still be available
Yeah, I guess
and
so because he never won a Heisman.
correct. Yes.
So you notice we don't have a number nine anymore. I don't know if you noticed that.
Or a 5.
I knew we didn't. I did not know we didn't have a five. I knew we didn't have a 20.
We don't have 20 is one of a handful of numbers across all sports that is officially retired, meaning no one will ever wear it again. Uh, then you have your more recent numbers like your Stovall and Casanova, where it's coach's decision. It's not a hard set in stone rule, coach's decision whether or not anyone could wear those numbers. And
Hmm.
that's what 4 is going to be in that same category.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that they were retiring his number. I guess I don't know why I didn't know that.
Yep, that's this
Didn't know.
that's this with this weekend. He'll have his name, and we are I'm gonna add a number 4 to our wall up here,
Oh, nice.
to join the other 3 that are up here. And he said so. I think the crowd's gonna be ready because I mean it's Florida. We don't need the extra juice because Well, I mean, it's fucking Florida. So bring it. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be good. I really wish I was in Louisiana this coming weekend instead of this past weekend, but
Right, right, right.
it is what it is.
Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't know why the spread is dropping on this game, but I really don't typically pay attention to that.
I
But
I don't either. But I do know sometimes you'll see spreads move when I don't know. I'm not a degenerate gambler, so I couldn't tell you. But a lot of times when a spread comes out, it's
you're just a degenerate.
correct. I'm just not a gambler.
I got you.
Um, you'll see money start going one direction or another, and the spread makes a quick jump, and it's not necessarily anything new or anything that happened. It's just there's a little too much money going one way, so the odds makers kind of try to move it to even out the money coming in. Because to my knowledge, I haven't seen any like major announcement of any new injuries or updates, suspensions, anything like that that would have caused the spread to make a massive move.
No, the only thing that I know of is we lost Sadir Mitchell.
Okay. He hadn't played yet,
We
so I
hadn't
mean,
played,
I
and
don't see how that would affect the point
I
spread.
told it was also Herb. I think he told me about that, and I said, I kind of feel sorry for the guy because he went to Texas because Bo Davis recruited him,
Right.
and then Bo Davis came here, so he comes here, and then Bo Davis goes to the Saints. So I kind of feel sorry for Sadir Mitchell, but then I heard he got kicked off, so I don't know what he did.
Uh,
But
yeah, I don't. I try to avoid most of that with guys. If it's not a major public incident, I don't really know it. I mean, it could be anything. It could be something that we would consider minor. It could be I know he didn't do anything major or it would be plastered everywhere.
well, yeah,
So,
true. I am reading right here if you see me, I'm kind of looking distracted. I'm just trying to read up on some things. So Florida, I talked about the defender that has a broken foot.
yes.
Um, looks like he's actually set to play this week. His foot was broken during the off season.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I don't know if
What?
he'll be a full go, but this is the first time he's playing. His name's Caleb Banks.
Okay.
But yeah, he wrecked shop against us last year. In fact, he was pretty much
Oh.
unblockable.
What about the fella that spit on the USF player? Is he eligible for the first half? Is
No,
he
I'm
suspended? Will
sure
he
he
bench?
will be. I'm sure he will be disciplined internally the next time they play somebody similar to USF. I don't know.
Hmm. Internally, meaning what? Like he can only color the front side of his coloring book, or
Maybe,
I
maybe.
mean, I don't know.
All right. We kind of ran through the offense, and I don't know if you saw this or, yeah, dude, you haven't even checked like stats or anything, have you?
No, look, I mean, I had for those of you who don't know, my grandmother passed away last weekend. Her funeral was actually Saturday. So we had a little family get together. Got to go eat dinner with my mom Saturday night, which is why I missed the game. Um, I'll really throw you for a loop here. Do you know what was sitting in the center console of my rental car while I was inside a restaurant eating dinner with my mom? It would have been 5 tickets and a parking pass to the game.
Oof.
But I don't get to see my mom very often
I would have
anymore
said,
because,
Mom, they got jambalaya at the stadium. It
yeah,
sucks,
but
but I mean,
living 14 hours away, I don't get to see her very often.
nope,
So,
you got to do it. You and
you
I
know,
talked about that a while back.
yeah.
And
So,
I told you, you got to do what you got to do.
yeah. So my wife and I and my little sister and her husband and my mom went and got some boiled shrimp from a good, down home mom and pop type restaurant. Uh,
Nice.
they
I'm a little
they have a
jealous of
beat.
that.
They
And
have
honestly, I envy that more than me having to sit here and
yeah,
watch this game.
yeah. They have a beat of amber at said restaurant. So I was
I
drinking
saw that. I think you
ice
sent me a
cold.
picture.
That was at the restaurant I went to Friday night. That was a different restaurant when I went to see a band, and my cousins, like all of the grandchildren, got together Friday night. And then Saturday was just with my mom and my sister and them. So, I really didn't. I had the game on the radio, in the car, and I did see a little bit of the second half, very little, just kind of had a lot going on. And from listening to the post game show, I really wasn't interested in finding stats. I mean, it just sounded,
Well,
this is one that we'll
just
just,
to find things to talk about, I'm trying to look for something. And one thing, I'm on LSUsports.net right now, and they've got the wear gold, and they've got the LSU helmet and the Florida helmet, and right there, just screaming is Jack Pyburn.
oh, you know, he's ready.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's ready.
Yes,
So
he's absolutely 100% hyped up and ready to go for this one.
one thing I wanted to check, because I said the only decent thing to come out on offense was Braylon Moore, and that's not necessarily true. I'm overlooking Harlem Berry. Um, Caleb, uh, sorry, Caden Durham did what he typically does. He didn't carry the ball a lot. Harlem Berry played a little bit more, and I'm trying to find the stats here. All right, here we go. So Garrett Nussmeier, 26, 41, 237, a touchdown and a pick. His
I
longest
did
pass
I
was
did see the
23
pick.
yards. Longest pass was 23 yards. That's interesting. Hey, Louisiana Tech passing. Trey Kukuk, okay. 12 of 18, 50 yards. Their other quarterback became the one that led the touchdown drive, 3 of 8 for 46 yards, but most of it came on the 33-yard play that they scored on the blown
Right.
coverage. So we're not
That's
going to play, well, let's take that one out because that's stupid because it happened. But they threw the ball for 96 yards, Nooch, and they rushed for 77.
gotcha.
That's it.
That I will say this about those passing numbers. I mean, shit, for years we started quarterbacks who did that on a weekly basis.
Okay, that's a long time ago. But point being, 96 yards passing, and
58 rushing.
really it's 58. Yeah, 58 rushing. 77 was the game, but the net was 58.
Yeah.
So yeah, 150 yards of total offense, dude. Now, with that said, LSU ran the ball for a net of 128. They ran the ball for 164, but then you got to factor in the sack yardage, which we did it
20
for them. So
27 yards of sacks.
negative 27.
Yes.
Fantastic. Um, Caden Durham, 29 yards, 13 attempts for 30 yards, and then he had a loss of one. So that's pretty pedestrian there.
Yeah.
Harlem Berry,
2.2
though.
a carry.
Yeah, Harlem Berry, though, 6 for 56. Long of 43. He kind of showed, you remember what I told you he kind of looked like?
Yeah, you compared him to Reggie Bush.
A version of Reggie Bush. Well, you got a little glimpse of that. I'm not saying he's Reggie Bush, but that's just how just watching him run, you're like, you know, kind of stands out that way. And he
Right.
showed that a little bit. He had an 11-yard burst just right up the middle, and then he had that long, that 43-yarder. Xavier Thomas, he's really been the rushing game, dude.
He's they referred to him as LSU Swiss Army knife on the both the pre and post game show. He kind of is because he does. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. I mean, he had also had 4 catches for 35 yards.
Yeah,
He returns kicks, obviously punts. Uh, and
threw a
in the
pass
running game,
against Clemson.
right? True. So he kind of does it all.
Saw our first glimpse of Nick Anderson doing something, and he caught a touchdown pass from Garrett. Um, that ball could have been caught by either Garrett or Trey Green. had
Yes.
had Nick
And
Anderson just let it go, it would have hit
yeah.
Trey Green in the chest.
I was actually surprised to see that he only had 3 catches because I believe he must have had all 3 of those catches on that same drive. Because at that point I was listening, wasn't watching, but it just seemed like he had. I thought he had more than 3 catches on that particular drive, and then to come and see the stats and see he only had 3 for the season for the entire game kind of surprised me.
So something that I'm looking forward to, and I know I'm not going to be able to do it during the Florida game because I'm going to be, doing my nails.
Yes,
But I want to watch a game where I can really, or maybe I just need to rewatch the game, which I record the games. I should be able to rewatch them. I just don't have time. But I would like to rewatch the game and pay attention to a couple of positions and a couple of individuals. I want to pay attention to Barry and Brown um, because something I've heard is basically if you watch it, yeah, he's fast. He's 100% effort all the time. That I see. That I see. But they say he's also the best blocker of the wide
right.
receiver.
Yeah, you had mentioned that last week.
And I want to watch that. I want to pay attention to that. And see how, because if he is, hats off, sir. I like you coming here and giving 100%, even if the ball's not coming to you. I
Correct.
appreciate that. I want to watch. Um, I want to watch the left tackle position. I want to watch Tyree Adams because I haven't heard his name, and that's really a good thing, typically.
That's a great thing.
The only time I heard his name is when he got hurt in the first game and went out for 2 or 3 plays, and things didn't go so good, and then he came back in and things got better.
Correct.
I want to watch him.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to? What are some things that because especially you've been kind of unable to fully take everything in.
Yeah, it's been nuts. Really, I want to see, and if you remember several times over the last few years, I've always mentioned, I'm a fan of a running game. I want to see the running game really take off. And it was actually in the Florida game in 2019 when Clyde really stepped up and started getting those chunk plays. In fact, the next year or 2 years later, we were again bitching about the running game, and then Tyrion Davis Price just absolutely went off
Well, he set
against
the
Florida.
record. Yeah, he
Yeah,
set the record.
against Florida. So here we are again. We need to find a way to run the football, and preferably with the running backs, because as you said, we don't have a Jaden Daniels. So, and it's Florida, so let's go ahead and torch these bastards. I can't think of a more deserving team to just get run all over than Florida.
So, I want to touch on one thing, and then I'm going to go to the run game that you're talking about. I just looking at the stats, and I had actually forgotten about this. Barry and Brown, 42-yard kickoff return. So
Okay.
you're seeing everything from Barry and Brown now. He also had a 15-yard run, by the way, on an end around. Now, with that said, speaking of an end around, I would say this. I think we're more balanced than it appears. Some of those passes are those little
Yeah, that's that little
to a
pump
Xavier
on the
Thomas or a Barry and Brown.
correct. So it's technically a pass because it does leave
It's
his
an
hands
extension
going
of the
forward.
run game, and
Right.
I'm good with that. I don't think it would hurt my feelings if we went out and ran for 225 yards against Florida this weekend. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. But as long as they're finding ways besides homie go long to
Hmm.
move the ball, I don't care how they do it.
Correct.
Especially when, to me, that's just an extension of the run game when you do that little touch pass at the line of scrimmage to the guy that's coming around in motion. That's a run.
Yeah, it
You know,
is. I mean, it technically goes. So you have to be actually watching the game to know that
right.
that
But
went
there
for
are
passing
those
yard.
plays. And
Yes.
Xavier, 6 for 60. Um, Trust me, uh, one of those was a 48 yarder, by the way. Um, so we had some big plays. Harlan Berry had a 43-yard run. Xavier with the 48-yard. Uh, that was a rush. That was a rush.
Right.
Okay. Um, and then Barry and Brown with a 15-yard rush. But some of those passes is what I meant to be looking at. The Xavier Thomas 4 for 35 along the 15. At least one of those was that little touch pass deal.
Correct.
Um, Barry and Brown had 8 for 94. At least one of those, or maybe it was Aaron Anderson. I don't remember. But one of those was that same little deal, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah. They say I'm go, and I'll tell you what, even though it doesn't go into rushing stats, I agree. As long as something, but I really want to see. I maybe it's just because I can't freaking stand Florida, and just hope we pretty much just completely emasculate them and run it right at them, and maybe do an old school Les Miles and point at a hole and say, "Look, we're giving it to him, running it here, and then
I mean,
just
it's
do it."
basically what we did against Clemson.
Yeah, and then just do it.
It wasn't successful, but I mean, but we
Well,
did it.
right. But I mean, like, the
But we
old
did it,
school
and
LSU.
we knew that if it wasn't successful, we're gonna punt the ball, and you ain't gonna do a damn thing when you get
Right.
it.
Right. Yes. I would love, honestly, I would love for JC Copeland to be able to come out of retirement and just blow someone up the middle in this game. But I mean, I'll take it however it
Give
happens.
Jack Pyburn the ball. Put 44 back there.
We'll get through that. Same number. I mean, that'll work.
I mean,
You know,
oh man,
shit, let's
he's nasty. Oh, by the
run the
way,
wishbone and have Pyburn and Weeks back there.
so, which one?
Well, all
Because
three
they
run the
shared a
wishbone.
West
Yeah.
and Witt shared a sack, and it was like meet you at the quarterback, literally kaboom.
Yeah.
That kind
Yeah.
of sack, like they just met right there, and yeah, that was pretty
Absolutely.
cool. I was going to talk about the defense because it's so much more fun to talk about than the offense so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We're kind of getting low on time. We got about 2 minutes to go though.
yeah,
So
let's see, but yeah, Weeks, both of them, Harold Perkins, Jack Pyburn, but Patrick Payton and Bernard Gooden have been really fun to watch. That's something I will be watching again this week. So, Nooch will be putting up a game thread on
yes.
GameDayTigers.com. We do have a chat
Um,
feature working.
so correction, it's gamedaytigers.community.forum now. It's
That's for the
No, that's for the new website. The
that's everything.
gamedaytigers.com still brings you to the old website, which all the old content is still on that website and is being transferred to the new one. Just not done yet, but it's
Okay.
gamedaytigers.community.forum to get to the new website. And then there is a chat feature on the website, and it'll be up and live and ready to go Saturday night.
Yep, and this was done because the old platform just wouldn't support it anymore. So
Correct.
unfortunately, but hopefully Herb's able to get all that stuff transferred over. You guys, regardless, come join us at say it.
Gamedaytigers.community.forum.
Thank you,
Yes,
and
sir.
we hope to see you there. Go
Yes, sir.
Tigers.
Go Tigers.